Sigma Chi meant a great deal to me. It certainly, as an undergraduate, helped me to spread my wings and to be involved in things that I never would have been involved in without the association with a fraternity. I'm Henry Durham. I graduated at the University of Kentucky in 1953. Well, Mark Ellison decided, and Dr. Conley, their biggest problem and the biggest standing in their way of getting a charter was the lack of alumni in the area. And so the first involvement then with Mark, he asked then if I would help him. And as a matter of fact, we had a meeting at a steak dinner over at a steakhouse in Silva that's no longer there. I think it finally burned down. I don't know if we had anything to do with that or not, but it was a common meeting place for us. And that was where then I committed and told them I would help them. Both of them really were very convincing that this is what they thought needed to be done at Western, and not only for Sigma Chi, but for Western too. They put out a desperate letter to the alumni from the Evanston list that they supplied us of Sigma Chi's living in, I think we asked for maybe a 6 or 7 county area. And sure enough, there were a good smattering of alumni. I was able to get from Evanston, which didn't come with the first list, I was able to get the professions of the folks, their business connections and whatnot, which was in the databases, but didn't normally come out with alumni list. Bob Brannon, of course, absolutely was one, because he's responsible for having gotten the land, and he was in real estate and whatnot, and we could identify that from the alumni list. So it was a good way. It turned out to be a good way to identify what we needed. Bob and I, of course, were the backbones, and Dr. Conley was extremely good and worked very well. We all worked very well together. So we started with the three of us, and there were several others in and out that helped us, not on a regular basis as Bob Brannon and I were, but one of the biggest problems was the progress that we were making. And so we were getting to a point that they were getting a little edgy about the length of time, the couple of years that it was taking to get everything squared away. So all circumstances are different, and we had the right ingredients, but I guess we weren't mixing it quite like it should have been, and maybe in the order that it should have been accomplished. And of course, by taking that long, and you're probably right, it was either 3 or 4 years, and we lost then, of course, the basic group that really did do a fantastic job in terms of getting it organized. It was just that when we, at the end, and we were losing that group, and they were, of course, seniors, and as you well know, when you're a senior in college, you change your perspective quite a bit in terms of the time that you have to devote to the fraternity and all that sort of thing. It just took a dip there. It just took someone like Mark and someone that devoted to do it, because he sacrificed quite a bit, and it was his determination in that, I think, that presented. When it was going to be up for a vote, we organized and got Dr. Conley an airline ticket to the Sigma Chi Executive Committee, which was actually out west at that point in time. They responded back to me that they really didn't think it was necessary that he come out, which was my tip-off that basically they were going to approve it. So I was extremely pleased. Yeah. Oh well, that was a lifetime achievement for my son to come to see Mackay. It all worked out then that Tom could come in that way, and Kappa Gamma, bless their hearts, were open to it, and he was actually initiated at a workshop, at a demonstration workshop. So he got a very good initiation, and I'm very grateful. The farm boys were many. I do have a roster. And I think basically the short answer is that they often were the boys in the chapter who couldn't pay their dues. I was paying a little premium on what they could earn on campus, and they all seemed to like to come up here. So, but it was basically anyone who wanted to, in the chapter, who wanted to come up. They were extremely helpful. I needed help on the farm, and I needed their kind of help. They'd come up generally over the weekends. They caught on very quickly to Joe's good cooking, and we always had lunch for them, and we had a lot of camaraderie going on, and it turned out very well for us, and I hope and think for them too. I guess one thing too, my family enjoyed the association with the boys. We had some good boys, and they've done well. I think that we were more than justified in what little we could do to help them along the way. If you go back now on 30 years and look at the roster, we've got some really pretty high achievers. So it has paid off, yeah. We're very glad that we could contribute and help, and I think we made life a little bit easier for them, and gave them a little bit of a foundation and base when they were away from home. And I think they basically adhered to the standards that we helped them try to adhere to. That was gratifying. I can be a little tough at times. My tongue can get a little bit sharp at times. So I hope that they will remember the better parts. If I have hurt anyone's feelings, I certainly hope they'll forgive me for it. But, and also, I think they hopefully that they will take the best parts of what they see in me and work from there rather than maybe some of the faults that I've got. And of course, to remember Joe as my sweetheart and to have an equal wonderful life as I have had with her. And I think she loves Sigma Kappa as well as I do. Oh, I don't think so. I'm just forever grateful for all of the boys and forever proud of them. I just think we really have had an outstanding 30-year beginning, and I just hope we have another 30 years. Maybe our grandkids will be around.